This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com, wearing my Blood Hunter shirt today that you can find at the Great North Wrestling t-shirt store. The link is at the HannibalTV.com or in the description. All the hoodies I wear are on there, as well as the Hannibal TV pouches or gimmick bags, whatever you want to call them. But those are pretty great. What about since poor Billy? Yes, Billy Graham, 2 days ago now, I believe, had cancer removal surgery from his nose. He does have a GoFundMe link. I put it in the description. I've also pinned it to the top of the comments for anyone that wants to help him out, because he is one of the at-risk people for COVID with all of his medical problems. And he's got a lot of them, but he's a fighter and a survivor, and he keeps fighting. But he had major surgery on his nose done this week, and his left eye ended up swelling shut after the surgery. He was in the news a few weeks ago because he's on the WWE banned list from the Thunderdome. And, of course, they also put out a new toy of him this year. So it's funny that they'll put out new toys of him to make money on, but you can't hold up one of those toys in the Thunderdome, according to reports. Another friend of Billy, Big Bill Anderson, who I've done 2 interviews with now on this channel, has COVID-19, by the way. He also lives in Arizona, and he's currently dealing with that right now. Smackdown last night did a 0.6 rating for the Survivor Series go-home show. I read through the results. Nothing too interesting that stood out to me. Nothing that I find interesting. Anyways, Undertaker says he doesn't know what the plans are for his quote-unquote retirement ceremony. There's been rumors around that is he going to unannounced beat whoever the winner is of the WWE title match after the retirement ceremony and retire as champion. I doubt that's actually going to happen, but I actually don't believe he's really retired. We'll see him back in action because they need stars, and the more desperate they get, the more they're going to have to bring him back. And in a cinematic match, I mean, you film that in takes anyways. It's just like a movie. So you can hide whatever his limitations are. But there's very few wrestlers that have ever stayed retired. None of them even come to mind, to be honest. Maybe Ted DiBiase. He never got back in the ring. Instead, he got involved. He's involved now in some embezzlement scandal, the last I heard of him. And then he got into ministries, which is what this whole scandal has to do with, his Heart of David DiBiase ministries that apparently took welfare money from they're supposed to go to the poor and used it for other purposes. But this is an update about that. I did one of my funniest shoot interviews of all time today with Ken Patira. It is on patreon.com/thehannibaltv. Or if you are a member helping me get interviews with this new thing where you can pay $1.99 a month to be a member of this channel, you could have watched it live like some of the members did. And I appreciate the people that already got memberships, because I want to grow, and I can't grow without support, because I fund this channel as well as Great North Wrestling myself. Even though we beat Ring of Honor, MLW, all of these much bigger companies, NWA, and ratings and viewership for YouTube viewership, I'm funded by one person. I'm not a corporation. And I'm not like Ryback, who were also kicking his ass in YouTube viewership. If you look at the monthly total views, and he had years in WWE with him pushing him and getting that WWE money. So I'm funded by viewers. And if you aren't a channel member and you want to see that DDP interview or the Ken Patira interview, I'm going to put them out eventually, probably next week. But to watch it live now and participate in the streams for the interviews that I'm paying for, you got to become a member. Other interviews like my UWN interviews, NAWA interviews, or if I'm interviewing a friend that's doing it for free, I'll still stream live. But it's just another way of helping the channel out. I'll get into some of your questions. I think that's about it for the news today. 61 Slabs says well wishes to Billy Graham. By the way, my one-man gang interview, aka Akeem, is Monday at 4 p.m. for people that are members and want to watch it live. And it's also going to be on patreon.com/thehannibaltv soon after that. Sophie says, poor guy, about Billy Graham. I do have another YouTube channel, by the way, Devin Nicholson, if you want to subscribe to that. It's just full shoot interviews and some custom clips. Like I put my The Hannibal TV show, the actual TV show that aired yesterday on Zingo TV, channel 250 in Canada, as well as about 150 other platforms. I also put it up on my second YouTube channel, Devin Nicholson, and I put a clip from it up on this channel of Tony Capone from the NAWA revealing the NAWA women's title that Leslie Snow is fighting Amber Nova for December 19th in Daytona Beach, Florida. And again, as I put on the screen here, our merchandise links are in the description. If you want to get a shirt of the Blood Hunter and Blaze, for instance. Sam says best wishes for Superstar. Michael is praying for everyone. We are on Instagram at the Hannibal TV. Lots of new content on there. I'm having some help with Instagram and Facebook at the Hannibal TV lately, so thanks for the help. Big Brother Thunder says get well, Superstar. We are on Twitter at Devin Hannibal and at the Hannibal TV. If you DM me on Twitter, I will follow you back. Mike says he's happy Savio Vega. Speaking of the Blood Hunter, Savio Vega and the Blood Hunter were on a Great North Wrestling event together in Rockland, Ontario last year. And The Godfather, they're going to be at Survivor Series. Philip hopes for a speedy recovery for Billy Graham. Ed thinks Sting is going to come out and challenge Undertaker at WrestleMania. Unfortunately, and sadly to say, that would draw more than any one of their stars they have now fighting each other. Sting versus Undertaker at WrestleMania is more interesting than any match from the regulars of the WWE or AEW roster. So, yeah. And as I'm writing on the screen, there is a new format for the paid live interviews that I do. Sophie with the wonderful drawing there of her, I guess, as she says Taker had one hell of a great run and has done his job and then some. I think he deserves to just be able to chill and take care of himself and his family. He is under contract to the WWE apparently for like multiple decades now. I think it was an extended contract, at least 10 years, but something's telling me it might even be longer than 10 years. But when he wrestles, he does get paid millions and millions of dollars. So you mentioned take care of your family. Well, he could wrestle one match and maybe make more money than one of his kids would ever make in an entire lifetime and just put it in a savings for the kid. And that kid would never have to worry about money. So there's a temptation to come back. Lots of well wishes for Billy Graham. Mike says it was a 20-year contract with The Undertaker. Thanks, Mike. I remember that news coming out. Ralph says Billy Graham is a fighter. The most impressive thing to me about Billy Graham is he's a survivor. And for the people that commented that, oh, well, he's rich, he was WWE champion. Well, he was the champion in the 70s. I did an interview with Ken Patera today. He sold out Madison Square Garden against Bruno Sammartino. And they also sold out the felt for him, and they actually packed it above capacity. And his payoff was $3,800. There was no guaranteed salaries like there is today. So $3,800 for an MSG sellout. That's like top of the line money. And then the next day you could be in a high school gym in the Midwest. I mean, it's not like you're making that much every night. There's no guaranteed salaries. And if you got injured, you didn't work. If you wanted time off, you didn't get paid. Rohit loves my videos. Thank you very, very, very much. Nicholas, what are my thoughts on Bruiser Brody? Well, you must know with all the videos I've done about him on this channel, I only became familiar with him basically in the last 15 years or so, but he's become one of my all-time favorite wrestlers, and it's an absolute travesty of justice that his killer got away with it. Ed is a total mark, he says. Joe says wrestling didn't get big money till Hulk Hogan came along, and it did really boom in popularity with the combination of Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon. Jericho Cager says he can't wait for the title in Cleveland that he's talking about for a company coming up there. Josh Wilburn tipped me $3.11. He says Billy Graham is too sweet to be sour. Skin cancer does not have a chance. LL Ashba. Thoughts on Aleister Black? I know nothing about him other than his name. Ray Rosini, did I watch Stampede Wrestling growing up? We did not get it here, and I did not become a fan until like 1989. The first angle that I remember is Hogan and Macho Man splitting up, and by that time Stampede was pretty much done. Supposedly for a while it aired nationally across Canada, but I don't ever remember seeing it when I was a kid. And like in 1989, when I became a fan, I was in grade 1. So it's a little, I've seen the old school matches, but I haven't actually seen it. Thanks for the tip, by the way, John. I really appreciate every little tip. L. Vowel says WWE won't let The Undertaker rest in peace. Well, it is fun to wrestle. And do you even wrestling one time a year for $1 million or more when you're sitting at home just being like a husband, which is fun. I guess if you have kids and you want to be around your family, it's not bad, but to be loved by millions, to wrestle in front of 70,000 people at WrestleMania, hear that pop, that's like an adrenaline rush. That's like a hit of ecstasy. So there's advantages too. It's not like they're dragging this guy out, whipping him. You got to wrestle. You got to wrestle. We will not let you retire. Even his wife has said she doesn't believe he's retired. John, thanks for the content and the news. Do I collect action figures? No. I actually only have one. I'll show it to you since you bring it up. This one here. That's the only one I have of Terry Funk, who I beat the crap out of, by the way. And that was given to me as a Christmas present one year. I'm the favorite wrestling channel of Rohit. Mark Burford, will I have more fights? Likely, yes. I would say so because, I'm just aggressive. Mitch, who would win between the Blood Hunter and the Undertaker? I would say the Blood Hunter. Though the Undertaker's beat up. Blood Hunter would absolutely destroy him. It wouldn't even be like a contest. JP, oh my God, I'm not getting into that. I don't care. That's my pick. And you know what? I'll tell you, McIntyre versus Reigns. Okay, they're not going to put the title on McIntyre because he's the lowest drawing champion of all time. As far as ratings go, he was a failure as champion. They're not going to put the title on him. He gets horrible ratings. The Raw rematch of Orton versus McIntyre Monday did a 0.51 rating leading into the Survivor Series. They're not going to put the title on a guy that gets shitty ratings, and Reigns does better than that idiot who all he does in every interview is breaks kayfabe. Mike, yes, I did beat up Terry. Yes, lots of talk on here. How's Scott Steiner been since his near-death experience? DDP says he's doing well. I am going to post a clip of Scott Steiner giving his version of the DDP fight right after this. John says that's the action figure to have, the Terry Funk action figure. Oh, by the way, I'm sure he doesn't know that shit that McIntyre does, like every interview talking about the wrestling family. But he would be greatly disappointed if he knew what wrestling has come to. But I'm positive he doesn't watch the current product. Last time I talked to Terry Funk was when he did the audio thing saying that Cody Rhodes should actually fight me and accept my challenge, which Cody didn't do, even though Funk, Sullivan, Conan, Bushwhacker Luke, Jerry Jarrett, and other legends wanted it to happen. He chickened out. And at that point in time, when I asked him about wrestling, he hadn't seen it. He knew nothing about what was going on. Joseph says a 0.6 rating is worse than WCW had before it went under. I don't think WCW ever had under a 1. I really don't think it ever even came close to being under a 1. So for our buddy here, Terry Funk, who I might run into when I'm in Texas next month, you never know. I hope everyone has a good night. I'm going to post a video or two more. And then guess what? I already did my workout today, but I'm going to go out and run. And I'm working on getting into my best shape ever right now, training really, 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 really hard. So have a good night.